Hello folks, this is Rever here, back for another episode on Gifts of the Caucasus. And if you remember, I was trying to get this Courseplay course set up, and I was getting a bit frustrated with it. I know I've done it before, but whatever. What I decided to do was go ahead and borrow a little bit more money. And I think this shop, we're going to get rid of these Courseplay courses. Use the one that runs over to the silo, and I want to see if this tractor is big enough to, to run the 3 mowers together. And if it is, then what I want to do is record another Courseplay course where this guy just runs around and cuts grass, and I know that will work near 100% accurate. So let's go to the shop, select the category, and my purchase is at the store. Good. So you would think the shop might close, but I guess I'm kind of glad it doesn't. The other store's closing. Alright, so it's a lot of mower for this little tractor. It's probably about 100 horsepower, underrated. So we'll see what happens. I'm a bit worried. Even if it doesn't cut this field, then it's no way it's going up and down on field 13 there. And it's just, I'm going to have to wait at that point, I think, or borrow more money, which I might just pay right back. So if this works even kind of well enough, I'll be happy with it. I'm going to get my GPS set up. So these are 9.9, I believe. Yeah. And I'm just going to put them in at that width. 9 on the GPS. A little bit. Not that it matters that much. This is a much better way to cut grass, I'll tell you that much. This would be a good place to start recording. I guess you consider this field work, but I don't really think it matters. And maybe that's my problem. Maybe I was in the wrong mode when I recorded that thing. And so I think that was crop destruction there. Well, I don't know what to say. It is down. I never really, breaking my course there. I never really cut. Grass was such an underpowered machine. If I had the rental mod, I'd be more than willing to go test it. And let me just check this again. I mean, Shift I, that definitely looks, oh, genius. Genius, genius, genius. Did you see that? It's not green. It's blue. I'm sorry, folks. Got all excited. Thought that grass grew awful quick. I got these mowers. Like I said, I think this tractor's going to be undersized for it. To be honest, it's not breaking my heart that I'm Courseplay that other thing. 3 meters at a shot is guess I should bring this guy back up here with these mowers. He probably could have sat back down there. Yeah, well, I got the rake now. I mean, I've got a forage wagon. I've got these. Oh, jeez. Lag spike return. Yeah, so anyway, it's nighttime, so that doesn't make for the best recording. Hopefully you guys can see something of this video. So I'm going to go ahead and finish harvesting or finish planting these fields. So the next field I'm going to plant corn in. And yeah, we'll see what we get into, but it should be something to do with silage, I bet. Cutting some fields and whatnot. And hopefully by then the silage will be sold and eventually be able to afford a tractor and maybe just a bigger forage wagon would be nice to start out. All right. Well, I will be back in a little bit. Second for you guys, maybe some days for me to rate them go. Anyway, all right. See you guys in a bit. Well, folks, I'm back. It's been quite a few in-game hours and real-life hours since the beginning of this episode. I decided to come up and get some seeds. And when I was thinking about it, I said, well, since I'm all the way up this way, I haven't really looked at anything but these farms. Earlier episode, I think I went over into there. I just wanted to see what was top. I fear eventually we'll stumble into a potato harvester. I'm kind of getting ready for that. Read through the comments. AppDip, she posted that there was potato equipment. I'm not a big fan of the little potato equipment, but for this map, the costs being what they are, I'm willing to take anything free I can get. And one thing I should note, I don't know if it shows up in my finances here. See, we have a little bit of history. So we spent $620,000. How much equipment? New vehicles, a little bit less. But you know, we went down $900,000. But see the loan interest. So remember I said before it was $24,000. So when I have this 1.6 million, it cost me $86,000. So that's starting to cost me some serious change. All the money that I was hoping to get from the first sale of silage is, well, it's gone, pretty much. Whatever. Well, you see, I think I made about, I had about 6,000. They took out the money, and then now I sold that whole silage, and I have 14,000. So. I have $8,000 I made on that first silage, depending on how you look at that. I mean, I made good money in the neighborhood of 100,000. So I have another bunker going from when I cut the little field, so that has probably about 60,000 in it. It's got 130,000 liters, and then it's got about 60,000. If I looked at the other bunker, so I did go last night and cut all the grass fields again. They did grow, including part of the new big one, because there was some kind of growth issue. The one that didn't all update. But I got all the grass fields cut. We got about 260,000 liters, so I'm hoping that's about 130,000. So I should have close to 200,000 silage right now, which is pretty good. So that'll, I think that should all be ready at some point today, if not later in the game day. Some of it'll definitely be ready fairly soon. I think it was like 80% or something. So the other thing that I did was I planted our fields. Take it back up there. So the 3 little fields are planted. That was really about it. I think I left you when I was kind kind of sort of in the middle of planting them after my little fiasco of horseplay. Yeah, I can't get the grass. The grass thing fills up and then he doesn't go. And I don't know if I'm missing something silly. So here's our silage bunkers. What is this one at? This one's at 24%. I'm gonna make that turn. Barely. Come on. 72. So we're got a couple more hours. I forget what it ticks off every hour. Somewhere around like 12 or 15%. Like I said, in doing all of this, the question mark. Warehouses list. So I don't know if you remember, I had about 20,000 seeds and 12,000 fertilizer, if I'm remembering right. Something in that ballpark. So most of the seeds got used on planting that grass field. So, and then the fertilizer I probably used about 7,000, I guess. So I figured it'd be good to restock. I don't really plan on doing much as far as buying fields. With $86,000 a day going out, it's just, you know, I'd need to get some bigger grass equipment, but then I need to get, you know, keep the farm progressing. But I'm really going to try to pay down that loan some at least. And the tractor, this little T6 tractor with the butterfly mowers and the front mower, he barely gets it done. You really need a bigger mower. So what I was thinking of, partially because I haven't ever really used it that much, is there's T6. A Deutz-Fahr. I mean, I have used this, but you know, not all that much. It is $30,000 or so less than this one, $25,000. It's got enough horsepower to do the mowers, both mowers. If we go over here, see, here's our problem. We got this guy, 160, and when you look at these two mowers, 90 and 190, that's 280. So really, even that other guy's not totally enough, is he? I mean, does that mean I've used this tractor so many times. It's kind of, not T6, sorry, T8. You know, I'd have to say this has been one of my favorite tractors. It's not that this Magnum isn't better, but for being affordable, it's still somewhat maneuverable in fields and whatnot. You start getting into these big tractors and some of these big fields, you know, these guys would do great, but in the smaller fields, they don't do so well. So, but I think they'll be okay on this map. I'm just don't have the money. I'm not going to borrow it just for a bigger tractor at this point. If I borrowed it for anything, I guess it would be this one. Yeah, you know, and this guy's the 260. I think the other reason is some of the equipment, like if we go back to the shop and come into sewing machines. Is that the one? No, that's not it. Oh, wait, 320 horsepower. That's the one. So in other words, if you end up getting that Deutz-Fahr, it's, you know, probably a fine tractor, but it's only, you know, 260, where this is the 320, so it's rated for doing that. So we'll see. Anyway, dreams of equipment when you have no money. Okay, so we'll get these guys unloaded. We'll have plenty of seed. Probably go make a fertilizer run after this is over. Yeah, so I'm not sure how much you guys want to see as far as, you know, as far as these field harvests go, but I don't know, other than maybe trying to find that potato equipment, which I kind of feel like, well, it's a bit of a spoiler. You may not want the spoiler in this video. Maybe something I'd better do off screen, which is probably what I'll do. You know, first of all, you don't need to watch me wandering around, I don't think. And if I just find them off screen, then I've got them. I don't know if there's another site or some place you can find that out if you did want to find out. By the way, this field grew goofy too. So this is our sunflowers. And then this one is our corn. So I cultivated and planted all these with the 3-meter seeder and cultivator, and even though they're not big fields, it certainly, just say it doesn't want to make me do a big field with 3-meter anything, which is sort of one of the reasons that I got that mower. I really just course played that field 13 while I took care of the other fields. And this is some canola. So if you look at our storage thing, menu, farm food storage, you'll see we'll need to get the carrots, the onions, sugar beets, and potatoes. But we'll have, there's canola, corn, and sunflower. So 4 different crops we haven't grown yet, and I think each of them need a bit special equipment. I know I could plant the sugar beets, and I'd have to get the sugar beet harvester. Totally up for it. Once the money is there, and that's sort of depending at this point really on the silage. And again, I guess I could sell some of these crops. It might not even be a bad idea, but I don't think it's going to change my future. If we look at some of the prices, they're typical hard mode, pricing. Let's go to shops, I guess. So manure and slurry, I could sell some of that. I do have some, but that really wasn't what I was looking for. Yeah, so say 300, 500 for the canola. I planted the canola field a little bit as the biggest one of these 3, just because I know you get the least yield. Corn 200. So I mean, even if we have 30,000, you're talking about getting what? 3,000 times 9,000, 6,000, 7,000 for the corn. If we sold 30,000 liters, so it's like a drop in the bucket compared to my problems. And again, I just as soon take advantage of if I get a big sale, a contract. Unfortunately, the 2 contracts I've seen so far, one was for sugar beets and the other one was for potatoes. So yeah, there's a good chance of selling some stuff, and I do want to get into that. But I'm really just thinking I'll farm, and like I said, I already got 200,000 coming in today. Hopefully for the silage that I do have, and that's the kind of money it's going to make a difference. Now, if I get just 200,000, do I go and borrow a little bit more money, get the bigger tractor? This one did the job, but if we come over here, I kind of showed you field 13, but if we come over here and look, it's really a pretty steep field. And when you get that little underpowered tractor, it just doesn't cut it. It goes like 5, which is, you'd almost be faster off cutting it with the 3-meter mower, because you're going a third the speed kind of thing. But you do go back downhill, and it goes what I'll call full speed back down the hill. So all in all, it is probably faster to cut it, but you still got to windrow it. So yeah, well, that's my little tour. Like I said, I'll probably head up and go get some fertilizer. So this, will be definitely a broken up episode. I'm not sure if there's something you guys want to see. Hopefully you'll have left it in a comment from an earlier episode. I'm many episodes ahead of where I think I'm at episode 3. I'm recording episode 8 here, I think it is. So it'll be a while before you guys see this. But I also wanted to say I do appreciate the people that are giving me likes and subscribing. You know, it keeps me going. You know, just to know somebody's watching it and thought enough to click the button. Decent thing. So thank you if you ever click the like. I do appreciate it. And that's not from some financial build a website or build a YouTube site thing. It's just, you know, I appreciate the feedback, comments, whatever it is. Anyway, I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Like, we'll just jam. You know, I'm going to fast forward time, and I guess the silage will be due first. Let's see how our fields look. Yeah, see, they're still waiting to grow, which we know. So whenever they grow, I'll cut them. Whenever the silage is in need of emptying, I will empty it, and I will keep you guys informed on a, you know, day-to-day basis. If nothing else, it may all be jammed into this one episode, but anyway, I'm distracting myself, not getting my fertilizer run down here, and then I'll fast forward some time. So anyway, I'll see you guys in a few minutes or days. Well, I'm back. I was in the middle of fast forwarding time in order to, you know, give you an update on everything I've been doing. However, I got one of these fast deliveries. So you can see I've got 8 minutes and 10 seconds to get this thing done. Not even 100% sure where the beer factory is. Right by the center of town there. Can I do it at night? Is this... I'm filling up beer factory hours, day long, so I should be okay. So, here we go. I guess we can make it there in that time. That's not 8 minutes. It's... well, I guess it is. 7 minutes. Can't mess around. So anyway, like I said, I was going to do the fast forwarding until, sorry, I'm trying to think here about not going in that mud. Spun right into the mud. Oh, jeez, I'm out of control. I don't have any front weight on in my haste. Come on, baby. 7 minutes. It should be enough time. I don't really know exactly where the drop-off is for this. It's going slower than sin. Probably didn't need to fill up 30,000. I only need to deliver 8,500. But life is a learning experience. Get the weight next time. Fortunately, the road's mostly straight. Not really going that far, so I don't think we're in that much of a hurry to crash into the river. So anyway, I have been cutting grass and making silage. The $80,000 a day is kind of a killer. But I've got 2 bunkers that have about 350,000 silage in them. Part of the fast forwarding was to get, you know, more silage sold. You know, if I am getting ahead, it's just been a lot of grinding with cutting grass. So I'm debating on what the next piece of equipment is. These tractors are barely cutting it. So, alright, so this is the beer factory flashing. They're going to yell at me for a dirty vehicle. No. Uh-oh. Where's the car wash? Can we get to the car wash in time? Get to the car wash in time. I think it's somewhere up here. I think if I find it quickly. I forget exactly where it is. Might have even been right back where I was. I don't think it's right near this field. Oh me, oh my. Yeah, I need a car wash. really don't want to fail in this mission. I didn't even think about the dirtiness. Uh-oh. Through my lights. There is a car wash here in town. It's not on the map, is it? Well, I think I'm going to fail this mission because of my dirty vehicle. And my brain's in a bit of a panic, so to speak. There it is. Can we make it? 3 minutes. Yeah, it's first thing in the morning for me. Okay, here we go. Alright, I think we have time to make it there. Back out to the main road. A nice clean tractor. Yeah, I haven't cleaned much. I was just... I said, really a big grind. I mean, I'm another day ahead, and the grass silage. Yeah, if you're gonna play this on hard mode, I'm really not sure how you would do it if you didn't either do lumber or silage. You're gonna have to do one of the two. You obviously don't have to do the super cheaty Brooks. Nah, it's not super cheaty. Pretty cheaty. Brooks chipper. There we go. So is this where we put barley? Unload barley and hops. Good deal. Why am I not getting the trigger? Oh, there it is. Alright guys, we're going to complete a mission finally. Like I said, I hadn't gotten any missions. Job successfully done, so I get $3,000 extra. But, for me, almost more importantly, I should, if let's finish loading, come to here, completed missions, so we got an extra rating. You can see I've put in, you can just, to give you ideas, to give you guys an idea of the time, 34 hours, so I'm not sure what it was last time we looked, but yeah, I put in a lot of time running out of episodes because I'm not recording all this, you know, constantly. I'm just, you know, just doing field work. Oops, I can't go. Yeah. This guy likes one way in and one way out. Alright, a little bit of a adrenaline shot, so to speak. Glad I found the car wash in time. And we got another point. Yeah, so trying to get up to a certain number of points, I'm not sure. I noticed some of the fields say 40, which was, you know, I couldn't buy field 17, so I assume there might be some other cutoffs. Really haven't paid that much attention, figuring my score wasn't really high enough. I didn't have the money. And so while we're here, we've just been cutting that town grass field and that. Here you can kind of see. There's the silage I have making right now. Tractor all ready to go to unload it again. So my debate is, do I buy a bigger tractor? And because this one really, like I said before, doesn't cut it. It's just not going fast enough. You know, I mean, I could go a lot faster. And the other debate, I'll show you once I slow down. I did want to show you something else here first, too. Head up past the... Oh, something I didn't mention. I did feed the cattle and the pigs. So they're full of grass. I stored a little bit of grass in that bunker right there. Oops, that's a tree. Not sure how well you guys can see at night. Maybe I should just even fast forward time here real quick and yeah, let me do that once I get up here. Alright, give me 1 second. Alright, you know what, why don't we fast forward time together? Alright, so we'll go all the way up to 120. I wanted to point out that these fields, even though we're fast forwarding, I'll jump into this. See, they're ready, but they're ready at different stages. So this must have just happened, this growth stage, which means my grass fields will probably be ready again. There's one thing about grass fields is they get ready quickly, which is good in this case. But so I'll start harvesting this. That's one of the things I was going to do once it flipped. Might even do that in maybe even the next episode. This one's been a spotty episode of just really, you know, me giving you little updates. But if we look, you know, you can see this little spot right here, maybe. I hope it's not too dark on YouTube. You know, here's a little bit of rye or sunflowers that didn't grow. So the rest of it looks grown. Oops, can't see anything but sunflowers. It's disconcerting. And then this section of field here, it just skipped a growth stage. So people say, oh, well, it's when you plant, you know, your rows. But I had planted this field before I even planted this field here. So there's just something that caused this not to update twice even, you know, or something. Like, you know, this field's all the way done. And I didn't plant, this was the last field I planted right here. And I had planted all of these. Then the other thing to say is that, you know, this is the same part that didn't grow the last time very well. So there's something going on. I don't know if it has to do with that, the pigsty, or no, that's the calf house there that I haven't bought yet. You know, but it's pretty annoying. Okay, I was going to fast forward to 6 o'clock, so let's shrink that. Or slow down. Close enough. Oops, not minus 7. There we go, 6:02, and it's a little bit foggy, which doesn't help what I was going to say. Let's take another quick look at this. Nah, the grass fields didn't tick over, or at least they didn't update yet. So yeah, it's time to harvest, which means it's time to buy the header. I mean, it's a little bit of shame, this tiny bit, and yeah, same thing with over here. I might do the corn last. I can do might do the canola first. There goes the train. Loud and clear. Yeah, so in order to do this harvest, I'm going to have to purchase, let's go over here. I'm going to purchase categories, headers. This header for the corn and this header for the sunflowers. The worst part about that is just going to be riding back and forth to get them. I don't really necessarily feel like buying a header wagon. So why don't I go ahead and buy these while we're on? We got a little bit of money there from our sale. So buy. Now the other thing that has happened, and I don't want to give away the spoilers as to where they're at. If you guys request that I show it, I could probably even go to another map. Oops, that's definitely not what I wanted to do. I found the pickup truck. I also found a potato topper and a potato planter. So what I plan on doing is taking this down over to the shop and selling it. It's not that it wouldn't be nice to have a pickup truck. It certainly would. But I could use the money I get from it probably more than I could use the pickup truck. So I shall sell it. Nice, I completed my first mission. That makes me happy. So yeah, other than the grind of all of this, and it really has, in real life, outside of my work, has been, what is about 3 days worth of me grinding. And I kind of knew things were going to slow down. Alright, so let's get this guy sold. By the way, the other day I cleaned a vehicle, pulled in here, saw how much they were going to pay me for it, cleaned a vehicle, and then saw how much they were going to pay it, and they didn't change it. So there's no sense in cleaning the vehicles. I knew that from the regular game, but yeah, sell $35,000. So sorry, pickup truck. And I will keep the potato cutter, the topper, and so here we go. Let's just check. 77%. So that should be another 180,000 or 170,000. The other thing I wanted to mention. Let's switch. Let's get driving because I already disconnected that header earlier. I guess the best way to go get this is just to drive this slow thing down there. Turn on my lights because it's foggy out. I know you guys probably can't see too well. Doesn't make for the best video. That's the fastest I can go. Yeah, so it'll be a bit of a grind. But I'll head down there. Now, one other thing that I did was I turned off the crop withering. With that field not growing evenly and worrying about grass fields. Keep checking that. The grass fields seem to be on a different cycle, so just want to keep an eye on it. I don't know if it's on a different cycle, but it's certainly it updates crops first. Really, and at this point, the silage is my bigger priority. But anyway, I was saying that I would question mark shops. Choose from this power plant. I haven't fed any wood chips to the power plant in the last. I didn't do any yesterday, so we're going to be able to sell 300,000 wood chips today to the power plant. If you hover over the name there, like I have my mouse on the power plant name, it shows you its working hours. So we have to wait until 8 o'clock to do that. It's not a problem. Notice the price getting up to about $5.20 something. So hopefully we can catch it there. But that should give me, in the ballpark of another 150,000. So that one silage bunker is going to be ready, and I'm hoping to get, like I said, about 170,000 out of that. I'm sorry, 150,000 from the wood chips, 170. So that should get me over 300,000, which will be enough to pay my $80,000 interest payment. And then it should also be enough for me to get a bigger tractor, which, while it isn't going to change my life, should make things a lot easier, a lot faster on doing this grass. I've been cutting it with the butterfly mowers and then raking it up. And, I still haven't worked on the course play just because I'd like to fully course play it at some moment. So my debate is whether I get that or P. So I'm really thinking that I either buy this tractor, the T8, which I'm sure you guys are generally familiar with. Do I buy the 2.8 for $254,000 and I just upgrade everything I have, or at some point in my life I got this big X580, and having that would allow, if I bought another field, I'd be able to plant corn in it and then get chaff and make silage out of it. Or, of course, I could still just harvest like I was before. Now, my problem with harvesting in general is, this guy is just not a very powerful or big harvester. So, but, so this might give me some more flexibility, in what I'm harvesting and turning into chaff and silage. And it's only 150. Now, I would need to get a header or a few headers for it maybe, and they're not overly cheap. So if I came to here, I would need, something like this easy flow to cut the grass, and then, they have the collector for the corn and whatnot, and then this guy I think does the other crops. So, but again, I don't know how many other crops and corn I would plant. But the corn I could definitely see myself planting rather than turning another whole field into silage. And then one more thing I have, and I will try to go back and find these links, is this guy. So in other words, this guy you can drive along and harvest with him, and he just keeps blowing into the back. You hook him to the back of your crone, and it lets it, have a storage, 50,000 as a matter of fact, bigger than any wagon I have now. So with this, I could harvest the grass and just set up a chaser course, an unload course for him. Anyway, so it's a thought. I really am just going back and forth. By the end of the day, it's going to cost me about the same amount, maybe a little more for the bigger tractor. And now the bigger tractor, would be good for getting the bigger loading wagons and all that stuff. And then I have to weigh out just paying back that loan. But for now, I think I want to increase, my ability to make money. That's really, when you're in business, that's what you want to think about typically. There's other reasons you would do things, but, realistically, the only way I'm going to increase my way to make money is going to be to buy. I could do other things, but I'm thinking, I buy another field. That's what, right now, if I had another field, then I could make more money, whether it's growing crops or growing grass. Which one of those two pieces of equipment benefits me the most? And I'm thinking the Krone Big X500, whatever there, would probably be my best way to increase. Because if my next move was to buy another field, I could just silage it if I didn't want to use this mower or this harvester to harvest a big field. I could I could harvest a fairly big field, make silage out of it, and then I would have even more silage and more money, and then I could turn around and start planting crops in it. I could still use my 3 little fields to accomplish my crop goals. So I don't know. I would, welcome any opinions. However, I'd probably put this episode out and move on before I put the episode out. I'll be doing something else. I'll probably decided by then. Hopefully, we'll see. So, like I said, I think I'm leaning towards the big X. Might even be talking myself into it while you're here. Yeah, certainly a foggy morning here on the farm. That'll burn off in a little bit. There we go. It's a heck of a way to go get this header. It might have been better to get a header wagon. So yeah, I've been a grass cutting guy. Like I said, I think I could do something similar with the lumber. But that $86,000, here, I'll show you my finances real quick. I think I stopped. So you can see, on the plus side, this was yesterday, of course, I made $100,000 finally. So even though I paid the $86,000, at the end of the day, I came out ahead. So, see, I increased to $279,000, and I think today will be even higher. So I'm turning the corner with this big grind of silage. It's just not real fast. Like at this point, I don't feel like I'm making a lot of progress because for all that work, I only saw $98,000. But again, I went up in my money overall. The $59,000 was for a bigger forage wagon. It was the new vehicle I bought. And then you can see I have some bucks in the bank, $66,000. Now some of that was from selling that pickup truck, which probably came in today. Yeah, minus $19,000 was these headers. Harvest income. That was the barley I just sold. Oh, other. Okay, that was the pickup truck I just sold here. So, hey, well, look, we're ahead for today already. But that $86,000 is a big nut when you think about it. That's, $172,000 that I've spent on that interest. So I like it. I mean, I don't like it, but I like it. It's, you really don't want to borrow millions of dollars and not have a plan. Because that's just an interest payment. That's not bringing down the principal on the loan at all. So yeah, I'm just going to keep plugging away. We could probably see these fields harvested, and that will get me, that'll get me some crops to sell. Hopefully I can make a little bonus, and again, as much as anything, I want to be able to complete those missions and get my status up. Yeah, so we'll definitely plant some barley. Oops. I've run over that sign 12 times at least. This is in my grass field. So I think I will start, like right in the next episode, I'll go run back and forth and get both of these headers up to the field, so I don't have to do that. Watch me run down there for another one. And I might even fast forward time to when it's not quite so foggy out. But so there we go. That's pretty much the mission. And regardless of those episodes, sorry, this wasn't, it's not much of an episode. It's almost like 3 little mini updates in a single episode here. 2 or 3 days worth of cutting grass and just trying to get myself back ahead. And it's, when I have to keep ahead of that grass, I'll come back after I have the money to buy that crone, and maybe we'll set up the course together, see if that works. Like I said, I'm struggling a little bit. I'm not sure if it's the map or just sometimes I know it has to do with the tractors you know, if there's some goofiness that I have in the course play. That tractor. No, that isn't. Usually an in-game tractor like that would work fine. So I'm not sure why. Not sure why, and I really didn't look into it that much. I don't mind chasing, doing the forage wagon, and let the course play do the harvesting itself. All right. Well, this has been not much of an episode in some ways. Just kind of a space filler. I wanted to show you that I'm really doing the hard work on the farm. I really should. This is one way to see how many hours we're up to. Now, some of these hours, of course, course play, but there's 26 hours now in this tractor. 2.9, which I haven't harvested much. 2 hours just in this little guy. And 10 hours in this one. So that's, you know, quite a few hours. And again, some of these are course played hours, but still, they're all hours I spent. Alright, well, I'm going to call this an episode. It's nothing else because I'm starting to run lower on them. I was way ahead at the end of this weekend. And now it's Thursday for me, so this episode will probably come out. I think I'm up to episode 9 with this one. You'll know if I was right there. And, you know, that should be out. I think I just am releasing episode 5 right now. So that should be out Monday or so. Just try to put out one a day. Because again, I don't know how well I'm going to make episodes at that point. You know, how much different stuff I'll have. I'm going to just show you guys the same thing over and over. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry it was a bit of a filler episode, and I will be back on the farm here shortly to harvest some sunflower and do a little bit more of a full episode for the next one. And I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.